Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can make a door with a key code in Roblox Studio. And before we start the video, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's hop into the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is make the door for our key code. So I'm just going to insert a part and then scale it up a tiny bit. And I'm also going to make the walls around it. Alright, and now I have my door done. So once you have your door done, make sure you have all the walls grouped because this will come in handy later. So I have 3 walls, so I'm just going to put them in a group and name them walls. And now I'm going to start working on the key code. And before I do that, make sure you name your door. So now, to make our password work, we need some keys as our key code. So what I'm going to do is make tiny little squares and then scale them down to be our key code. Now you can customize these, so I'm going to make this a tiny bit brighter. And then I'm also going to put in a surface GUI for text. So, and a click detector. So put in a click detector, and then also put in a surface GUI. Inside that surface GUI, I'm going to put in a text label, just so that we know what button we're clicking. So, and then if you're going to do this as well, make sure the size is 1, 0, 1, 0. And then I'm going to make my text scaled and make the text label say 1. So that now we know we're clicking the key 1. So now I'm going to move this over and then move it down a tiny bit. And now I'm just going to do, or before I do this, to add more keys, just duplicate the part and make sure you name them. So I'm going to name it key 1, and then name this key 2. And then make sure, if you're doing this, then you make the text label say the correct text. So since this is my second button, I'm going to make the text say 2. So now I'm just going to do a quick time lapse and add all these keys. Okay, so now I'm done with my time lapse, and what you want to do is actually go ahead and group all of the keys. So I'm going to select all the keys and then press Ctrl G, or you can go up here and group it. So I'm going to press Ctrl G and then name this buttons. So now we have all our buttons, but I'm also going to add a few more things. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to duplicate key 9, and then I'm going to drag it back inside a workspace. And then I'm going to make an enter button, a clear button, and then also a button that shows us what we have written. So I'm going to name this is clear button. And I'm going to make its color really red. I'm also going to copy this color. And then go inside the surface GUI, text label. And I'm also going to make the color red there. And then for the final step of this, I'm going to make its text clear, so that now we can clear our code. And then once again, just go ahead and duplicate this. And then name it enter button. And then this one, I'm going to make its color lime green. I'm going to go inside the text label. And then I'm going to make its background green and make its text say enter. And then for the final thing before we get into the code, duplicate this once again, put it up here, and then make this bigger. And then I'm going to name this screen. What this will do is it's going to display the code that we have. Next, I'm just going to make it bright white, and then go inside its text, make its background white, and then put enter code. So before we start coding again, make sure you select all these and then drag it inside of buttons. And then I'm going to group these two and then call it keypad. And that should be it. And then this is actually really big, so what I'm going to do is just make these buttons a tiny bit smaller. Alright, so now I'm going to start coding it so that all the code works. So go ahead and insert a script, and then you want to type in local screen equals script.parent.buttons, and then .screen.surface.GUI.text label. Next, type in local enter button equals script.parent.buttons enter button. And then for the clear button, just type in local clear button equals script.parent.buttons.clear button. Next, type in local code equals 6545. Local input equals, and then just empty speech marks. Now these will be all the variables we'll use during this code. So now I'm going to make a function so that we can enter our code. So type in function, enter, code, and then put two parentheses, brackets on the end. And at the end of this code, I will explain it all so that if you want to modify it, you can. Next, type in if input equals code, then, and then type in screen.text equals correct code. Next, type in door, or type in, oh wait, I forgot to make the variable for that. Make a variable that says door, and type in script.parent.parent.parent.door. And never mind, add two parents. Then type in door.transparency equals 0.7. And then type in door.canCollide equals false. So now the door will become slightly invisible, and whenever we are done, it'll go back to normal. So now type in wait, and whatever number you put in here is how many seconds it'll take for the door to close. So I'm going to make mine wait 3 seconds, and then put door.transparency equals 0, so now it's solid. Door.canCollide equals true, so now we can't walk through it. And then for the final part to this, I'm going to put screen.text equals enter code. So this is all for whenever we do the code. Now I'm going to make it so if you don't enter it correctly, it'll say incorrect code. I'm going to type in return end, and then press enter. And then I'm going to type in input equals, and then empty speech marks, and then screen.text equals wrong, or make sure you have in speech marks and type in wrong code. Now whatever you put here is what it'll say whenever you enter the code incorrectly. And then now I'm gonna make this that it says enter button dot clicked or click detector dot mouse click connect, and then whatever you name this function, put in there. So I'm gonna type in enter code or enter button. Oops, enter code. So now I'm going to work on the next part, which is going to be the clear the code. So I'm going to name it function clear code, and then put end brackets, and then now we're going to create a function. I'm going to put input equals empty speech marks, screen.text equals, and then once again empty speech marks, and then clear button dot click detector dot mouse click connect, and then clear code. Alright, and then now we're going to start working on the keys so that whenever we click it, it can enter into the code. Now what I mean by that is we're going to create a functions for each key in here. Let's go. The first one I'm going to name function key 1. I'm going to put end brackets and type in enter. I'm going to put input and then equals input 2 periods and then a 1. Never going to put a 1 because this is key 1. Next, type in screen text dot text equals input. Now for the final part, before we start adding it for all the keys, type in key 1 dot click detector, or you'll need to type in script dot parent dot key 1 dot click detector dot mouse click connect key 1. And now we have 9 keys, so what you're going to want to do is actually press Ctrl C on this, type in enter 2 times and paste it. And then all we're going to do is name this key 2, change this number to 2, make sure key 2 down here, and then connect the key 2. And what we're going to keep doing is just copy and pasting this until we have all the keys. So once again, I'm going to do another time lapse of me putting in all of these keys. Nice. And once you do all of this, your code should look a tiny bit like this. And then this is all our code done. So now I'm going to explain it all. So up here we have 4 variables. One's at the door, so right here. One for the screen, one for the enter button and clear button, which is these. And then this is our code, and then we just put in empty input. So now, whenever we click the enter button, we make a function. If the numbers we entered are 6545, then we'll say correct code and we'll make it so we can walk through the door. And it'll be slightly transparent. And then we wait 3 seconds, and then we make it so we can't walk through it, and then the code resets to enter code. But then if we enter it incorrectly, it'll say wrong code and it'll automatically clear it. And this just makes it so whenever we do click it, it connects to this. Next, we make a function to clear the code, so we just make all the, our code empty and then the text empty. And then down here we make it so where we click, we connect to this. And then next, we add a function for all our keys. So that whenever we click on it, it'll add it to the input. So if we click 1, 3, and then 2, the code will be 1, 3, 2. And then same thing for all of these. And if you followed along correctly and didn't modify anything, it should say 82 lines of code. But that's all our coding done. So now you can close off the script. If you want to, just save the game. And then now I'm going to load in and make sure it works. Okay, so now I'm in here and I'm going to zoom in and and then walk over to here. And then you'll see it, we have enter, clear, and then all the buttons, and then enter code. Now, we can't walk through the door right now because we haven't entered the code, but you'll see that if we enter 6545 and then press enter, that it'll say correct code and we can walk through the door. And then after 3 seconds, it closes back up. And then you'll see if we say 6 and then just add all this, you'll see that we can clear it, and then we can enter anything we want. And say someone thinks this is the code but it's incorrect, it'll say wrong code. And then you'll just have to click clear. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you'd like to support me, you can like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.